All right, as we open up here, you're going to see the cover image for issue number 5, and then it's going to pan over to us giving us a whole synopsis of Billy Kincaid. And you're going to learn that he is an absolute terrible person in this comic, and he's basically in an asylum right now. And starts with, "I'll be sorry to see you leaving us, Billy. And it's everyone here at the institution has enjoyed your company, but we all knew this day would come." Basically saying he's had model behavior, he's always been a gentleman, your time has been so rewarding, so uneventful, so therapeutic, and then it basically said so convincing, and at the bottom it says, "Sir, can you please keep your voice down?" As we open up to the next page, we see Billy Kincaid sitting there with a couple shadowy figures in the back, knowing that Sam and Twitch in the room as well. And then it says, "Before you go, the judge wanted me to remind you that you are not to have any contact with the dead girl's parents." And it's highlighted in bold black. And that's your kind of first thought and notion of what he's there for. Obviously, he murdered or killed somebody. And when we get into the next page, you'll definitely see what's going on. And it says, "I have assured them that you'll have your full cooperation." And he's basically asking him, "Do you understand, Billy?" But he's just basically sitting there in silence. And he's like, "Yes, it looks like you're very overwhelmed with being let out and stuff." So as it cuts it onto the bottom, it clips to Sam and Twitch. And Sam is just absolutely pissed off that this dude's getting let out on good behavior, whatever. He hates the system. You're going to see further in the story as it breaks that down to more of these characters. But he is just absolutely not happy, saying, just look at his eyes as he's sitting there. You can see it in the pages, you can see it in the artwork. And as we go to the next page, it starts with his eyes saying it all. And it's, "Tell me this man's cured." But I never stopped thinking about it. Yes, I have been so patient, understanding. And now you're kind of getting a little bit of the synopsis and Billy sitting there thinking and what he's planning. And he said, "Tomorrow I live again. I've been such a good boy, always doing what I'm told, always being a gentleman. It was all so simple, so easy. The children do love your sweets." And then he's got a little, "You scream, I scream, we all scream for ice cream," showing that he was running an ice cream stand or an ice cream truck. And basically kids would come up to it and stuff like that. And he would kill the kids. And we're not sure really what's going on. We see at the bottom it says, "But I know the number 27. Those were such fun times I will never forget, not ever." And you see a little hand sticking out of like a desk or a chest or something like that. So you know he's killed kids, you know there's 27 of them, and he's apparently being let out of the asylum on that. We open up with him saying, "Ah, Billy, nice to see you smiling. Glad you're so happy about your impending freedom." We know that's not what Billy Kincaid is actually smiling about. And he says, "Do me a small favor. I'd like to have you clean shaven tomorrow. That growth is so unflattering." And he's got like a long soul patch on his face. And then as he's being let out, he's singing that song, "You scream, I scream, we all scream for ice cream." And Sam's like, "Huh? What the hell was that?" He's like, "Oh, just a little rhyme." He taught everybody was here that it was cute. And he's like, "I didn't find anything cute about that walking butcher." And basically he's saying the psychiatrists have all agreed he's on better behavior. He's done his time. He's not crazy, anything like that. So he's being let out, and it cuts, "Screw your psychiatrist. That man's a freak, and if you think that sitting behind locked doors for 6 years is a cure, then you guys are even bigger idiots than I thought." And then it basically breaks down that he's feeling sorry that he feels some way, but you can only punish him when he's been convicted. Are you familiar with the concept of the law? Yes. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have other patients waiting. And like I mentioned before, here it starts with the law. It's something Detective Sam Burke understands far too well. In his 16 years on the force, it's been the only constant in his life. So basically, he's a cop, kind of a hard head and a hot head, stuff like that. But he's always, done things by the book, tried to keep the city clean. And, as we all know, when you're in a city like that, you're a cop, especially, a comic book cop, you can't really keep up with everything going on. So it's basically just been getting all of them, but it says he has never wavered, even to the point of feeling strangled by his own moral convictions. And I like how it's having cross-chain panels with him throwing the cigarette down, and then you have the spawn chains, and then you have the spawn power level, which we are at 8092 or at that point. Now we're in Sam and Twitch's detective office, and it says, "I don't know why my blood boils every time I think of Kincaid. You'd figure I'd be over this guy after 6 years." And now it's talking about them, talking about how Twitch has family of 7 kids and stuff like that. And basically that the constitutional rights and everything with the law he has to follow. And that Kincaid's loose and there's nothing they can do about it. He went to his boss, he said he can't follow him, he said he can't do anything. But Twitch, being the intelligent guy he says, like our friends in legal profession, I pride myself on finding loopholes, sir. So I was wondering if you'd be free after work for the next 2 weeks or so if you join me in my new hobby, midnight stakeouts. So they found a little loophole in the system where they can kind of tail and monitor Billy without kind of being cops, and they can do stakeouts. He's saying just a couple pals doing some male bonding in the same neighborhood by coincidence. So there's nothing wrong with that. And then we have 2 days later from the last meeting, and we see ice cream truck, you scream, I scream, we both scream for ice cream, and a little kid runs over, and who's driving it? It's Billy Kincaid. He tells her, hey, you're the first customer, so you can have a free popsicle if you want. Come in, take all you want. And then it cuts to basically 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. I just love finger painting. It's just so fun. And it's basically Billy painting a picture or gluing all the hands and making some finger art with the little girl's hands. And it opens right up with this panel, and you know he's a murderer, you know he's into kids and stuff like that, but you can really truly see how crazy he is. He's dressing up like a woman and a girl, and you can see the little girl's bow in his hair, and he says, but what's a party without a few friends? Maybe tomorrow we can go find us a little male friend. Might liven up the place. What do you say? And then I like how it shatters with that panel, Mama, and that's cutting back to basically Wanda and her child running from school, them interacting, her getting off school, and Al Simmons' Spawn, he's just kind of monitoring in the background. And Dad, that name tears through a Spawn's heart like a bullet. It's a name he so desperately wanted to be called when his wife was with Wanda. Now he knows that will never happen. What makes it worse is that he can't blame the devil for this one, even before his death was cursed. So it's still weighing heavily on his mind that Wanda has a kid now, and that he was never able to give it to him, even after he died, or even before he died. And then we see it cut to an alleyway. After time he retreats. Oh, Louie, you slay me. It's basically a bunch of bums laying in an alley, and it's just kind of winding down the night. Almost. You thought the night was winding down. We have a big cop car that's wee-oo, flying through. Cripes, damn bums, blocking another alley, always slowing us down as they all dive and run and jump out of the way. Got a robbery in progress, and I can hardly see where I'm going. Someone ought to run these losers out of town. And they're not even braking or anything. They're just flying through. On the next page, you see Joey. Hey, come on, Joey, stop playing around. And it shows him laying there dead. I told him not to sleep under the boxes. And the cops basically just flew through this alley trying to get to a robbery, and all these homeless guys were all laying there, and one of them got ran over that was sleeping under a box. And basically this guy's like supposed to be protecting the law. They break the law every time no one's looking, and they ain't protecting me from squat. And then it cuts to him complaining, saying Billy Kincaid, freed murder, charge reduced, running down an innocent man, trying to find warmth from the wind, and letting this Kincaid fellow go after killing babies. That ain't justice, that's nuts. And then Spawn, he's there, has that realization, Kincaid free. Already? It can't. Keep forgetting 5 years have gone by. Good, I won't lose out a second time. And then we get a great backstory of what he meant by a second time. And he says, I remember Jennings hired me to kill Kincaid, said he couldn't stand to see his ex-wife suffer. And that was the senator at the time that hired him to kill Billy Kincaid, who killed the girl at the time to put him in a prison. And when he got there, and by the time I located Kincaid, the cops had beat me to him. He was there to kill him, hired assassin, everything. The sick part was that Kincaid was smiling more broadly than the cops. I didn't understand. Why would he be laughing? Even during his trial, he had that sickly smirk on his face. When the judge put him away, he laughed again, and why? He said, I found out 2 weeks later in an abandoned shack in Northwest Virginia where remains multiple bodies, all kids, also mutilated. We never did get a final body count. That shack belonged to Billy Kincaid. So they caught him. He knew that he was there to kill him. He knew that he couldn't kill him because the cops already had him arrested. But then they had him arrested, but then there was multiple more bodies. And then that's where things even get a little bit deeper and more twisted and more confusing when we learn about Billy Kincaid. We had enough to get him 10 life terms, but suddenly things started disappearing. Files, photos, containers, then the shack suddenly blew up. Our proof of untold tests was gone. But the real kicker came later when his boss, Jason Wynn, that we mentioned before, told everyone to just drop the case, and they did, no questions asked. No case, no killer, no money. Jennings offered Al Simmons $1 million to kill Kincaid that he was banking on, that he wanted to buy Wanda all these things and take care of her in any way, and then he says something has to stop this insanity. So now he's Spawn, now he has these powers, now he can get that revenge and he can go after Billy Kincaid the way he deserves. So it begins. A new purpose has been given to the helter-skelter life of the Spawn. This former mercenary has become a blemish on his record. He means to clean that up. Is it a decision born of logic? A dead man's affairs being put in order? He's just basically saying that he can have his revenge. His adrenaline is pumping. He's not sure what his purpose is, why he's there. So now finally he has a little bit of a purpose and he knows what he can do. On the next page we have Sam and Twitch sitting there, doing their stakeout, just hanging out, talking, just kind of bullcrapping back and forth. And basically out of nowhere, Spawn cuts through a tree, and it doesn't mean I'm perfect, but I could say at least I tried my best. No more, no less. This stakeout is our way of doing our best. And then the first panel, like I said, you saw Spawn jump through and cut through that tree in the back. It says, "We're not even breaking the law, sir. We're just giving it a helping hand." Like I said, they were just chilling there, kind of shooting the crap, shooting the wind, and talking about life and talking about things. And now Spawn's in the picture, and it cuts to Billy saying, "I hate nights. No sun, no fun, no kids. Tomorrow I'll go out and play, but I need to find some excitement tonight. Now let me think." Looking around, and you see the girl from the beginning, from the ice cream truck, her bloody clothes there, and Spawn's in the window. He's at it again. It doesn't matter who he takes. It doesn't care whose kid it is. It could be anyone, and it shows a picture of Wanda's kid. And he says, "Oh, Billy, that's a good one." And then Spawn, like I said, even Wanda's. And then Sam and Twitch says, "What?" They notice Spawn, a cape. "Sir, looks like we have a visitor, a caped one, no less." And then it's going back and forth, kind of the action scenes. Now, Billy understands somebody's there. He has a big butcher knife. It seems someone wants to play. Perfect timing. Back to Sam and Twitch. "Let's go. It's that mafia killer. What the hell is he doing here? Don't tell me he works for Kincaid." And again, back in the beginning when Spawn, they found all those people in the alley. They thought Spawn killed him. It was actually the Violator. Now we have Billy chasing Spawn, trying to figure out who's there. Come out, wherever you are. And then Spawn literally just reaches through the wall and says, "No more. Hurry, Twitch. Get the door. I'll cover you. Gripes, the chief's gonna kill me," as they rushing in. And now we have a whole one-page kind of splash panel just on this one page of him saying, ice cream, ice cream, ice cream, trying to sing the song, and it's Spawn sitting there. So Billy knows he's not looking too good. As Sam and Twitch kick in the door, "What the? Sweet mother, what's happening? Check the house right now." A quick search reveals evidence of another child's death. "Damn it, this is all wrong." And then it cuts later at the police headquarters. "Got enough stuff to put Kincaid away again. That pig will fry this time. Now all we have to do is find him, and that caped freak. Don't know what his connection is, but I'm gonna find out." As they're walking down the hall, he opens the door and he says, "I can't make any more exceptions." And as he walks through the door, this is what we are left with. It says, "Fortunately, some can." And we have a message from Spawn. It says, "Boy screamed and girl screamed, so I made him scream and scream and scream." So yeah, that's where we are left off with basically Billy Kincaid. He has ice cream in his mouth, popsicles in him, an ice cream scooper, all that kind of stuff. And he's all chained up with Spawn's chains in Sam's office. So basically presenting him on a silver platter. And that's where we're going to leave it. We're only going to do the one issue today since it was a little bit more in depth. This issue was a few more pages than the other ones. And then we still have issues 6 and 7. And then that will wrap up Spawn Origins, the first trade. And then we'll be moving on to a different character. So let me know down in the comments how you're liking this series, what kind of character or what story you'd like me to touch next if I don't mention it beforehand. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Stay legendary, stay awesome. And as always, I hope you guys find what you're looking for. Thank you.